One of the biggest issues with being a marketing agency is literally the amount of softwares, offers, resources, gizmos, and gadgets that are literally thrown at you every single day. If you've been in the agency space for even a day or less, you've probably been hit with so many different ads, stuff in Facebook groups about who's using what tool to use here, and it can be overwhelming. I get it. I've been a part of it. I've gone down that rabbit hole. So, what I want to do today is just share the essential things that you need to get started as a marketing agency. So, the first thing before we get into any softwares, I'm going to stand on my soapbox for a minute, is you got to focus on sales. Honestly, like if you're too worried about what CRM and what, enhancement to your PPC campaigns or SEO tools or all this, and you want all of this stuff prepared beforehand, it's okay to have a general idea, but honestly, you don't need to build out a full process. You don't need to have everything in place that you think you do because you need to start selling. Selling is a huge monster in and of itself, and you're going to have to create a process around that and to start to build a pipeline. Sales don't just come where you're just hitting one at a time consistently. That only happens when you've built up a large enough pipeline that you have that consecutively going every single day, right? And you're following up on this stuff. Now, you're going to need a CRM to do that eventually, but you just need to start that motion of how you're going to reach out to people, how you're going to sell your services that you're planning on selling. How are you going to reach them? Are you going to do cold DMs, cold email? You're going to run ads? All of that stuff matters, and you need to focus on that first, in my opinion, because once you start to get sales, everything else easily falls into place. There may be some issues or you're strained a little bit, but you'll have the money, you'll have the reason to do it, and you'll be able to create better processes because of it. All right, now that we have that out of the way, the first thing that I would look at and the type of tool that you need is a solid sales CRM. And if you're in the marketing space, the best tool is Go High Level. You've probably seen it around in Facebook groups or even people asking questions about it, or other people using it. It is a great tool for marketing agencies, just hands down. Like, you need to have it. I am an affiliate of Go High Level, but there's just really no better option. I'm going to go into a few of that, but like really, I came across Go High Level back in 2020. And at that time, I was literally just looking for a landing page builder because all of the other landing page tools were just super expensive for what I really needed. And I came across Go High Level, that the fact that you could have unlimited locations and you have basically unlimited landing pages, I was sold because that cost was already way cheaper than what I needed for the other tools and softwares. Now, over the years, I began to learn more about Go High Level, its functionalities, what it can do, and they've released tons of features since then. But it is such a valuable resource for you as a marketing agency as you sell and create different processes and automations and follow-ups, but also as you get new clients, you can easily plug them into that system too. So we use Go High Level on our front end sales side, so that's my huge recommendation as far as a sales CRM system. Now, the next thing that you need as a marketing agency, the software that you'd want to be using, is some type of reporting tool. Now, you use this because you want to show your client the results of the work that you're doing. And typically these are just static, numbers. They're not really telling a story, and we'll get into that in a second. But there's tons and tons of different softwares out there that do this, that will generate nice looking reports with all the specific metrics or KPIs from Google Ads, from your SEO efforts, Facebook, all those different things. Whatever you're doing, you should be able to find a tool that you can accumulate all that information in and automate weekly and monthly sending out that information to them. This is what I call a report card in our business because it's really more of just a static look at everything, and it doesn't necessarily tell a story, but the most important metrics like clicks, conversions, ad spend, all of that can be easily reported in a nice looking report. Now, the other side of the reporting stuff is being able to tell a story. So, with marketing agencies, it's not enough just to say, here's the numbers. Most of the time, these companies you're working with, one, don't really care about those numbers, or they don't even understand what they are or what to get from it. So you have to be able to use those numbers and pull a story together, and that involves basically writing out your own detailed story of what's been going on in the account. Now in our agency, we've broken it down into three main sections that help our team articulate this to the client based on the numbers that they're seeing. So those three questions that we answer is: what are our overall thoughts on performance, what did we actually work on, and what are the next steps for this account, whether we need something from the client or it's something we're looking to do. Now, we've found that we've kept it simple like that because if you over explain too much, then sometimes too many questions come. The client may get, suspicious of something, or they're just putting in too much more work for you as an agency. Where if you just keep it simple with the story, telling them what's happened and where we're going next, we found that that is highly effective. So, the specific tools that I would recommend for reporting, if you're looking for a free option, Looker Studio by Google is fantastic. It'll take a little bit of work from your team, and I'm not too well versed on the automation side of it, but you should be able to create a template and easily transfer that to each client. But it will take some time to actually set all that up. You can find many people on Fiverr and Upwork that can help with that. Some paid options that are really great tools is Agency Analytics, Oviond, and honestly, if you just do a Google search, you will find a lot of other resources out there. So just find a tool that works with the platforms that you're on. You can automate a report going out to your client, and they look nice. Those are really the criteria that you're looking for. So don't make it overcomplicated. Looker Studio is great and free. So I would look at that. And yeah, those are the recommendations for the reporting tools you need. All right, the next thing that you need as a marketing agency is some type of project management system. This is just, you have to have it. You're basically performing a service that is a huge project depending on what you're doing, whether it's website design, Google Ads, SEO. You need some type of project management tool to grow. Even if it's just yourself doing it, that's great. And you don't have to have it fully built out. But as you are going through everything, you need to start thinking of it as how I can replace myself. If you're looking to grow your team and actually grow a business, you're going to have to figure out how to replace yourself very quickly. So that's one of my biggest regrets is I didn't really catch on to that, and I wasted a lot of time just putting things together and not documenting it and not teaching it to people on our team. So we have a whole process for that now, but if you can do that sooner than later, is start understanding what you're doing day in and day out. If you're working in the accounts, how you go through it, the types of steps you take, the cadence of checking in on things, document all of that so that you can replicate that in your project management system. Now, one of the issues before we dive into the specific recommendations of project management systems to use is you need to define this process first. It's so important that you don't build your process around the tool, but you use the tool for the process that you've already created. Now, that's important and sounds silly saying, but you wouldn't believe me when I show you how many companies, even outside of marketing, do this because they just try to make the tool work. So you need to know what your process is so that as you go in, you don't create weird nuances with your tool that just don't work with your process. You have to know what your process is, what's expected of it, how you're going to go through it, the time in between things. Literally just document it on a piece of paper or in a file on your computer so that you know, and it doesn't have to be overly complicated, but it's just so important to do that first before you jump into building out a full-fledged project management system, because then you just get stuck in doing whatever this tool wants instead of you making the tool work for you, right? So take time to do that. That's my recommendation. I've personally been burned by that, where we're moving project management systems now, and we're having to just fix a lot of different things and really dive into our process no matter what the system does. So that's what we're doing now, and my recommendation to you guys. So with that, ClickUp is a fantastic tool. That's what we're moving to. You'll probably see a ton of agencies in the space using ClickUp. It does have a harder learning curve because there's a lot more functionality to it. It's a bit more of a blank slate. But if you just take the time and invest into understanding how the tool works, or if you have the resources to hire a consultant to come in, I would highly recommend that, because once you build that out really, really well, you know the roles in your team, who needs to execute what. Now it's just about getting sales in and then just putting that into the process. You're going to find stuff that breaks, that's normal, but now you can identify very clearly where those breaks are happening, right? So, project management tool is essential for your marketing agency. Guys, I hope you found value in this video, understanding literally the essential tools that you need. Don't worry about all of the extra things. There's literally no advantage that you're going to get over another competitor when you're, one, just starting out, or two, like, you don't have a process in place. So don't worry about all those things. Like, you do need a few essential things to have a business function properly, but don't get so caught up in the shiny objects within the marketing space. I'm a victim of it too, so don't worry. We all get caught up at times, but if you just keep your mind focused on selling and keep your mind focused on the process that you're developing internally, you're going to have great results, because you're going to keep clients longer and you're going to have a process of getting more clients at the same time. So I hope that video is helpful, guys. If you like what you see here, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. If you want to watch more of this, there should be a video right here that you can watch. Thanks, guys.